How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have 24 hours before some massive economic data comes out that could push Bitcoin up or down, just depending on obviously what comes out. I know everyone loves it when I say it could go up or down depending on what happens next. But the fact is, we do have inflation data, and depending on if it comes in at expectations or lower than expectations, or it comes in hotter than expectations, it's going to change what the expectation is for the Fed rate cut next month, and that will greatly affect the market. Now, we actually have a changing in the likelihood of a Fed rate cut today based on what some Fed governor said. We also have some big economic news that we are watching for tomorrow and Wednesday. We have some interesting things happening today. I'll give you a bit of hopium because there are some people that think based on what just happened, we're going to see a pump. I know we had a bit of a rally yesterday, and it's very controversial right now. During a bull market, most people don't speak up, but when we're maybe heading into a bear market, people are very divided. So we'll go through a couple things that are a little bit bullish that have happened over the last 24 hours, but yeah, it's hard to tell exactly which way the market's going to go from here. And I'm not going to tell you that I know the future either. I've told you what I'm going to do, though, which is dollar cost average. I'm still going to trade as well. By the way, if you do want to trade, check out the link to BYDeFi underneath the video. You can start trading in just a few minutes. And we have this big deposit event going on right now. Actually, a lot of people signed up yesterday. Just make sure that if you want to actually trade on the platform, if you want this bonus, you have to deposit. Depending on how much you deposit, it gives you different bonuses as well. And we're going to run more of these promotions in the future where you can trade and earn up to $10,000 worth of Bitcoin or USDT or Ethereum or Solana, whatever we decide on. We've done this 3 times in the past and given around $50,000 or $55,000 away. So check this out in the future. This is for everyone that's ever signed up through my link, so you might as well sign up now, get the deposit bonus, try out the platform, make sure you like it, and then you can automatically you'll be participating the next time that we run one of these campaigns. Let's roll the disclaimer. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. Do your own research. I'm never going to reach out to you either in the comment section or through any other means to try to get you to invest in something that I'm investing in or to send me crypto. Some links underneath the video are affiliate links. I may earn a commission, but this is at no extra cost to you. Of course, do your own due diligence. All right, so Bitcoin held this $80,000 support over the weekend, and actually it rallied a bit. You can see here we went from Saturday going all the way down to 80,600 to about 88,000 yesterday. Now, some people said, well, don't trust it. It's a Sunday pump. There's low volume. It's just manipulation to then crash us during the week. Now, we have come down a little bit from where we were yesterday, right? We're down at 85, 86. I really would like to see a push so that we can see some higher highs or at least break above this previous support level we saw around 89,000. I would love to see a breakout into the 90s once again to get a little bit more bullish. We did hold actually this 4-year trend line. So if you just kind of connect all the peaks here from the first peak of the 2021 cycle, it kind of goes through the late 21 cycle peak. We got rejected by it in March of last year at 74K. We kind of flipped it into support back in March of 2025, and then we just held it again around 80,000. So it's not perfect. It's not like these line up within $1,000, but it's actually a pretty good trend line. We held that as support over the weekend, which is nice to see. Merlin, the trader, said Bitcoin just completed a 36% correction. MACD is now at a 5-year low. The last time we saw this, we saw a 119% pump. This is where reversals are born. Don't blink. He shows the 32% dump there, 31%, 36% here. Now, for the last 2 years, have pointed out that when we have dips like this, it's a good time to buy. Now it's a little bit more difficult because this is typically where we see a crash, like a multi-year Bitcoin bear market. So it's hard to know whether we're going to reverse back up and see another 119% pump like we've seen in the past. However, I do think it's a good time to dollar cost average if you want to have a bigger allocation to Bitcoin. Even if we go down to $60,000, $50,000, I don't think it's a bad time to dollar cost average at $90,000 or $85,000. It sounds stupid to people that are maybe new to crypto, but it's true because you don't know where the bottom is, right? You don't know if we're going to go down to 70,000 to 60,000 to 50, or if this is the bottom. So instead of trying to time the perfect bottom, makes sense to dollar cost average, in my opinion. We see liquidations coming in 136 million in longs over the last 24 hours versus 94 million in shorts. We haven't had much volatility, so this is really just probably 80x or 50x long positions and higher. I like to see this too. We see more liquidations if we move up. Now that's usually the case, or has been the case the last week or two on the 30-day, but if we go down to the 7-day or the 1-day, it's the same thing. So the whales and manipulators usually like to push to the side of more liquidations. Not always the case by any means, but it's nice to see, there are some more shorts that would get liquidated. Now, rate chances have changed a little bit. Rate cut odds have over the last 24 hours. The Fed Governor Christopher Waller says he's advocating for interest rates, an interest rate cut at the December meeting. You can see the probability is now at basically 73%. This is versus 67% last Friday and 36% a week ago. So it looks like there's more and more of a chance that we're going to see a cut. I think the Fed wants to kind of sit on that fence. So when people are too bearish and think there's less of a chance, they say, oh, we might cut. We think we should cut. And then when it seems like, there's too high a probability or the market's getting away from itself, it's getting too bullish, they're like, oh, we don't know. So it's kind of annoying, but I think that they probably will cut. And part of that will be dependent on what happens over the next day. We actually have a lot of economic data coming out actually over the next 2 days. Tomorrow we have PPI, September PPI. We also have retail sales. We have consumer confidence as well. So the market is really going to react to this tomorrow. If you want a dollar cost average, just know that it could be pretty volatile what the prices do for Bitcoin or the general market over the next couple days. Not saying $2 cost average or not $2 cost average, just keep that in mind. We also have GDP Q3 on Wednesday. We have PCE on Wednesday as well. So I think we also have jobless claims on Wednesday. And then obviously Thursday is Thanksgiving, the market is closed. And then Friday, markets close at 1 p.m. Lots of volatility, lots to watch out for. The market is kind of starving for data and scared of data at the same time. So it will be volatile. Tom Lee bought 69,822 Ethereum last week and currently holds about 3.63 million Ethereum at $10.25 billion. Their buying price is just under 4,000 per Ethereum, and they're sitting on an unrealized loss of 4.25 billion. I talked more about Bitmine yesterday, but nice to see that they're continuing to buy. Take a look at this. I've said this a lot, but I am pretty well diversified, right? I don't just hold Bitcoin or crypto. I also am invested in equities like Google. I also have real estate. Google up another 5.5%. I hope you have equities as well, because this has been a great year to buy them, especially with the tariff dip. Obviously, Bitcoin is still up since the tariff dip too, but look at this. I just looked at one of my accounts today. I'm up over 100% on Google, right? This is what's considered a boring company, right? And it's up over 100% since the bottom. You didn't even have to time it perfectly. There's a month basically where you could buy it under 160. So you'd be up 100% on that. It's up another 5.4%, and it's sitting around a 34 price to earnings ratio, which I still don't think is expensive. Is it cheap? Not really, but it's not expensive. But it got really cheap back here. I mean, it was a 15, 16 PE ratio. So nice to see that it's still moving up. We have other companies, though, they're down significantly, like Uber, right? It went down 7 or 8% in one day last week, and its peak was around 105. So it's down 20% from its high. And this is a company that's still quickly growing. Like, look at this. Their Uber One members up 50% in the last year. Gross bookings up significantly in the last year as well. Monthly active platform users up 17% in the last year. Revenue up 18%. Now, I do hold a position in this, but I hold it for a reason, right? Because all their numbers look pretty great. If you are really bullish on Tesla, right? Or on Waymo, these automatic driving companies, maybe you're a little bit less bullish on Uber, but also they're like, typically it's a good time to buy companies when people are worried about the moat. And this has never been at a cheaper price to earnings ratio. So kind of interesting. I might be adding to this position, but it is kind of an interesting one because their moat could be thrown off with Tesla and with Waymo. But I do own Google as well. So this is kind of another hedge against Waymo, I suppose, and the automatic driving and all that kind of stuff. And they're quickly growing too. Like even if their business slows down after another couple of years of growth, right? They're still growing quickly now, so it might be a decent time to buy in. But yeah, I'm interested in continuing to dollar cost average in good quality companies and into good quality crypto, like Bitcoin specifically. And I will continue to do that if we see weakness. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, if you do want to trade, you can check out BYDeFi. There's a link to it underneath the video. I really appreciate it. I'll see y'all soon.